You've struggled with and endured childhood trauma and survived. But now you're finding yourself really fighting with anger that keeps coming up for you and doing things in your life that you don't want it to do. In this video, we're going to go deeper into complex PTSD and anger. Start with healing one trigger at a time. You can do this. Hi, I'm Tamara Ridge, licensed marriage and family therapist and survivor of complex trauma. I know what it's like to live in a home where there's consistent anger, and I'm here to tell you that you can overcome your responses, even if you're becoming too angry in moments that you know that you're safe. In a previous video that I'll put here and at the end of this one, I talked about how to take the edge off of your anger by using that energy while you exercise. But I also said, let's go deeper. So let's go deeper together today. I want you to know that even though that anger feels like it comes out of nowhere, it doesn't. The reason you're getting so angry really does have a really good reason that makes sense. The truth is, you learned the angry response from an angry adult who had power over you. And when that happens to us as children, we have this subconscious awareness that that anger could finish us. And that's really, really scary. The person that was making you scared with their anger, they learned not to show fear, but to get angry in the face of a threat. And because fear equals vulnerability, they had to do what they needed to do to survive. The unfortunate side effect of that was it made you even more scared, and it taught you to put fear and anger together in your own subconscious mind. Here's the secret. When you were a child and a situation came up that reminded your parent of their own fearful childhood experiences, instead of recognizing their own feelings of fear and vulnerability and recognizing that those were relics of the past, they reacted in real time as though you were the threat. Then, by powerful example, that's how they taught you that whenever you're afraid, the correct approach is to ensure your own survival with anger. So now you've been trained to respond to underlying fear with anger yourself. Because it's so much more powerful to get angry when we're scared than to realize how helpless and how afraid and vulnerable we really do feel. In my last video, I talked about exercising to take the edge off of anger, but that's really not enough. When we're triggered, we have to do something more. And I want you to realize that when you feel angry and you're doing things that don't really fit your value system, that feel completely out of control, you're in a triggered state. So when we're triggered, we need to do something to calm ourselves down. There's another video that I'm going to put up here that will teach you how to have a daily practice that will help you calm your nervous system so that it's not quite as easy to get you angry as fast. Because what we want to do is to notice the thing that's making us upset, and before we have that angry reaction, stop and calm the body long enough to be able to figure out if the threat that we're reacting to with anger to keep ourselves safe is really real in the present moment. What I would recommend is that you watch that video and you make a daily practice. I practice it myself 15 minutes every single day when you're not triggered, because we want to reduce that reactivity in your body. And I want you to watch for this. Since you know it's something that happens, watch for the early signs in your body that something happening and the anger is coming. There are usually a group of thoughts that start to gather that make you realize that you're starting to feel angry. When that starts to happen, stop. Calm yourself down. Go back to the psoas release position that you'll see in the other video and lie there and breathe and make an assessment of what's really going on. You might have to excuse yourself, but that's okay. You can always take time for yourself. You have permission to do that. If you were conditioned to become angry in the moment, you probably felt trapped by the anger that scared you. Give yourself permission to take a break and to step back for a second. It's permission you probably never gave yourself before, but you can do that now. Then, after you've assessed the real time, then really evaluate, is there something I need to do or say to correct this situation? Is there a boundary that I need to set? What did I say or what did I do while I was triggered that maybe I need to correct? If I need to set some boundaries or make requests of the other person that I was interacting with when I got triggered, then what are those boundaries or what are those requests? All of this while you're by yourself, breathing, sitting with your body. Remember, feelings of anger are not commandments. You don't have to act on those feelings, except to recognize that those feelings are a signal that you're scared of something and you need to take better care of yourself in the moment. So the next video in this series is going to really talk about how to use your anger to set healthy boundaries. And I want to invite you to ask any questions that are coming up for you as you're watching these series down in the comment section below, and I'll make sure to answer those questions on a video upcoming very soon. Finally, because trauma often leads to confusion about what we can and can't ask for in relationship, I'll put a link in the description below to my relationship rights checklist so that you can understand what's healthy to ask for in relationship and what's not healthy. Because if you grew up with anger, you probably learned some unhealthy rules about what's okay to ask for and what's not okay to ask for in relationship. So that's all for today. Look for the next video in the series where we talk about using anger to set healthy boundaries. See you next time.